Welcome back, everybody, to the Minnesota Twins franchise. I'm excited to dive further into Season 2 today. It hasn't been a great start. The Twins are just 8-14. We've stayed in last place because we have the worst team batting average in baseball. We're not scoring that much or all that consistently. Our defense is also among the worst. But you know what? There is some good news. We're going to focus on the positives to begin today's episode. Last time we focused a good bit on Matt Wallner and how this season seems to be the year where things are really taking off. Now, I think this is going to come down to earth. His batting average is up nearly 100 points off of a season ago. His slugging is .617. You love that. He's mashing lefties, hitting almost 400 against them. So he's going to hit third and continue to be the guy that we try to drive the offense through. We'll see if he can maintain this hot start, but I also want to talk a lot about Emmanuel Rodriguez today. Now, the season's very young. We shouldn't look too far into this, but it's cool 20 games in. Right now, he is a Rookie of the Year candidate over a top prospect that is also a rookie in the same outfield as him, Walker Jenkins. Erod stands out on an offense that has underperformed. He's a well-rounded player. He could become an everyday staple with this team. And right now, he's one of our most valuable hitters and one of our best extra base threats. As we get today's episode started, I want to make a couple roster moves. We're going to be sending down Austin Martin along with Cody Clemens. Martin only has 1 hit in 20 appearances. We're going to send him down to AAA. Cody Clemens only has 2 hits in 20 at-bats. And I'd like to call up a couple of guys down at AAA that are playing pretty well. Eric Wagaman will be returning. And in the outfield, we're going to call up Alan Roden, who will actually be a defensive upgrade in the outfield. And he can still steal a base. He's not nearly as fast as Martin, but it's not a huge difference. And although his hitting ratings don't look great, he's one of the few guys that's actually impressing at AAA offensively. He draws a lot of walks. Not sure if it's going to translate to the majors, but we need the information. He is 27 years old. We're on the road in San Francisco as Riley Quick, a AA pitcher, just suffered a torn hamstring, so he's going to be out a while. We've already lost 2 pitchers down there at AA, so all 4 of those pitchers that I had drafted last year are going to be in the rotation down there. When we have more of a sample, we'll begin to talk about what the early returns on these players look like. Prince Kirby's made a couple starts so far. They look all right. But we'll save talking about these guys for another time. I wanted to get through this first game against San Francisco as the Giants hand us another loss. And now this next game, we have Simeon Woods Richardson on the mound, and he's the starting pitcher struggling the most. The home runs are completely out of control this season, and in 4 starts, he has yet to make it through the 5th inning, and he's given up at least 4 runs in all of those starts. So that has to reverse, or we're going to be looking for a change here as well. We got all his options available, so we'll have to consider using them. We'll jump first into a player lock game with Emmanuel Rodriguez. Even when we're rebuilding, I try to make it a point to be as competitive as possible to start a year. It's just how I think you're supposed to approach the game. But we have not looked all that competitive to start this season. This is worrying. The numbers on Simeon Woods Richardson are not pretty. Basically, all the production against is double or more compared to where you'd want it to be. So, in a pitcher's park here in San Francisco, how about you get your first good start under your belt this season? We'll jump in. Rafael Devers. Rodriguez is here in right field. This is a little worrying that this is our first situation. That's about what I expected. Deep to the wall. Erod. Mistimed the jump. Thank you, Buxton. Don't tell me Rafi's going to triple. That's exactly what happens. I can usually time those up, but I guess being up close, it didn't feel easy. 2 given up in the inning. A solo home run was hit. And now Erod tries to get some of that back versus Logan Webb. Giants on a 5-game win streak. Twins on a 5-game losing streak. Starts to the year in polar opposite directions. That's a grounder to short. Adames on the move to first base to get Erod. Edmundo Sosa with a homer. Buxton follows it up. The Twins take the lead. We're getting some random power out of Sosa. That's helping give us at least a little offense, because I wasn't counting on much of it to come from him. Erod has the second best batting average now on the team, just behind Matt Wallner. So the outfield is looking pretty good at the moment. You've got Buxton and Walker Jenkins, the other two. And that's really the strength of the team right now. I think offensively and defensively. Got a bunch of errors in the infield. Luke Keeschel already has 5. A second baseman having an error like every 4 games feels excessive. Full count. And we're going to draw the walk. Jenkins' numbers, though, starting to trend down into that danger zone. He's hitting just .211. This season, though, is just to set the foundation for guys like Jenkins and Erod. It would have to get pretty bad for one of them to end up getting sent down. That is going to fall in left field, and we'll have to have that be a single. Here's Keeschel. The average has come up a little bit, but he's not showing a lot of power. OPS under 700. Logan Webb, 1-2. We'll stay put. This one is popped up to third base, infield fly. And Dalton Rushing's season has not been able to mimic what he did a year ago, where he was an immediate contributor to the offense. The 0-1 is in the air. That's to deep right field. But in this big outfield, that is going to be an easy play, as Rodriguez will take third. I got Sosa in the 9 spot, mainly because that puts him in front of Byron Buxton. I'd rather have somebody with speed in front of him than someone who could potentially slow him down on the base paths. Sosa pops up, and the Twins will leave the 2 young outfielders on base. 2 aboard now for Emmanuel Rodriguez as we're trying to take Logan Webb out of this game. Ooh, I feel like pitchers are giving us a lot of hittable breaking balls. Had a couple good sliders last episode. Missed that one. Got him on 3 pitches. So Woods Richardson does get through the 5th this time around. This was a lot closer to what we're looking for. And this bullpen has also regressed. Dan Altavilla gives up 3 in the 6th inning. And now it's a 1-run game. And we've lost, I think, a lot of 1-run games. We've been walked off a few times already. Ball 3. Getting ahead in the count again. Just trying to give us a base runner. He's only hitting .211 against lefties, so we're not going to be all that aggressive, and unless this is overturned, it's a walk. And it was not overturned. We going to run here on the reliever? Yeah, we are. And it's low, so Rodriguez will jog into second. Jenkins down swinging. And now Eric Wagaman is in the game, pinch hitting. First major league at bat this year. And a good play at first base with Miller covering, 2 down. And yet another left on left at bat. It's Dalton rushing. And a ground ball to second base, not played cleanly, will take it. That's a game tying RBI single. I feel like when we're on the road, it's just guaranteed to be one of these situations late. We've been walked off, I think, in 2 or 3 cities already. And a drive from Ramos, testing the range of Jenkins. It's over his head. I like Elliot Ramos.
No.
Got in there just in time to second base. I just think he's an exciting player. I like him. He comes out of the game, and this is Casey Schmidt. We're going to go with David Festa. 87 clipping the edge. I'm seeing some wild, like, statistical leaders down below, like Kyle Freeland leading the NL and ERA, and in a good way. It is a ball from Festa. Yeah, there was a comment that I think got me a little bit more refocused on some pitching things last episode. So they've kind of redone the pitching ratings this year. You got the hit and strikeout per 9 by handedness now, and then for the actual individual pitches. As, yeah, Sal Stewart is a giant now because the Reds thought it necessary to trade for Robbie Ray last season. That's what happened. So I need to pay better attention to, like, the usage, because that's going to tell you, like, which pitches are really quality for these pitchers. Some guys have a 5-pitch mix, but the top 2 take up, like, 80% of usage, and that's where you're supposed to concentrate your focus. Otherwise, you're just using objectively weaker pitches. Festa, being a starter turned reliever who could still become a starter again, he's still kind of got that starter-like skill set where everything is kind of an option. You don't have to go in any certain direction. But with certain pitchers, it is a little bit more drastic. And as I try to get this bullpen playing better, I need to keep it in mind. Good eye. Rip to Jenkins. He's got it. The 8th is wrapped up. All right, tie game, 9th inning. Every episode has brought a ton of late inning drama. Here is Ryan Walker. Buxton's season is on the upswing. And he has a 2-hit game, but playing behind second base, they take a third away from him. Yandy Diaz is doing really well, but that's been mainly in sim. I think I have like 1 hit with him personally. Still trying to get into a good groove with him. And the hunt continues. 2 down. All right, if anybody could hit a splash landing here, maybe he already did. Wallner has homered in this game. That's a team-leading 7 home runs. Close to 1 every 3 games. He had a hit last episode that I didn't see until editing, but it was 117 miles per hour off the bat. I think that's the hardest hit ball I've seen in the game so far. I forget what the record is. I know Ohtani has some 118s in real life. But we're talking about a guy that approaches 120 exit velocity in the perfect circumstance. 2-2, and that is a mile foul. Not close, and Wallner walks to first. Royce Lewis needs to get it going. The occasional home run is not enough. Hitting just 181. So he'll hit after Wallner now in all of our lineups. And if this continues, he'll begin to slide down further. Tapped up the third base line, and it's foul. Got him. Good slider. And we head bottom of the 9th, relying on our trustworthy bullpen again. Jordan Hicks, he spent some time in San Francisco, and look how good the numbers are this season. He's kind of justifying that $11 million contract he's got. Kenji Ka is the hitter. This is a round 2 player from the first draft of the series. So I think the first player drafted in this franchise that we are seeing, a 73 overall, high starting overall, low potential player. You know, I remember thinking how unrealistic all this felt, but by the year it becomes more and more realistic to see this happen. When you have the Angels calling up guys like Neto and Shonowell, and there are some other examples of guys who didn't stay in the minor leagues too long, I think that's one of the best things from the entire StatCast and like analytical era is now there's not as much of a need for guys to prove it over and over again at every level. And there are so many levels. You could be playing fall league and play low A, high A, double A into triple A. And it's like, you know, maybe it doesn't actually need to take 7 years. For some guys, it will. Gleyber Torres. Fouled back. Got a lot of guys now with like college experience. And kind of the expectation when they're drafted early is like after a year or so of seasoning, they should be ready to contribute some way. 1-2. It's upstairs. How'd they get Torres 2? Great piece of hitting because that was not in the strike zone. Yeah, I just know I've probably listened to some podcasts and read some articles about how like just seeing spin rates and just certain different data tracking can give you a better indication if a guy's stuff can play at the majors. They still got to prove it to a degree, but I think the whole old school way is antiquated at this point. Double play, we play extra innings again. I just want to score the extra run here. Randy Rodriguez will enter. We got Emmanuel Rodriguez. Royce Lewis at second base. All right, so 4 pitches in. None have hit the strike zone. I don't want that one. Count is full. Ball 4. Rodriguez command isn't getting any better. 3-1. That, I want to challenge that one. The stakes are high enough. And nope, that's just a good pitch. Got him. Good fastball. Brooks Lee in the game now, hitting .205. On one hand, he's missed a bunch, but he hasn't missed in the zone, not even a single time. Rodriguez, 2-1 to Brooks Lee. I don't want these. That's a double play right there. Another 3-2, and it's low to Brooks Lee. We'll get a challenge. I think a good challenge by the Giants. Just, oh, come on. And now they're going fresh arm with 2 outs. Here's Dalton rushing. Average now has a 2 in front. They say you get 1 pitch every at-bat. That's your pitch. I don't think I've gotten one in this inning. So I'm due. 2-0. I'm getting a pitch right here to rip from Jason Foley. Up the middle. Through for a hit. We'll take it. Royce heading home, and he is in. 6-5 Twins. And that wasn't even my pitch, really. It was just a fastball, which I'll take at this point. Edmundo Sosa. That was the best pitch of the at-bat to hit, or the entire inning. 3-2, and suddenly everybody's moving up. First base is open. Foley walks Sosa. And here is Byron Buxton. And it's a drive hit in the air. I think we were just late on it. Inning over. Cole Sands is entering, and this is his 6th save attempt. He is 3 for 5 on the season. Jung-Hoo Lee is the hitter. Very little speed at second base. Sands' skill set is also pretty balanced, so you don't have to really focus on 1 or 2 pitches with him. Whatever it takes to get him out. I like throwing cutters in on lefties, though. That's, you know, usually 0-2 what I want to do. Too high. That's a splitter that he gets a piece of. What is going on? Cole Sands is hurt. So suddenly Anthony Bonda's going to enter. This team, man, it ain't boring. 1-2. Hit to Lewis. Runner stays put. What a weird team. Willie Adames is up. Drew Gilbert behind him. Definitely going to pitch around Adames. But we have a chance to strike him out. 2-2 slider. Good take. 3-2. And it ends up in the dirt. Chandler Simpson had a 2-home run day. Were they both inside the park? Drew Gilbert suddenly. And that was a game-ending type of pitch. They've grounded into 3 double plays already. That's good information. Another left-on-left slider. Bouncing away from rushing. The double play is now not an option. We got the out, though, at third. Huge throw to third base. And now a strike away on Drew Gilbert. Ground ball, Royce Lewis. Twins win in extra innings this time. But what's the status of Cole Sands? I'm just happy we got that runner at second home this time. Cole Sands fractured his wrist. He is out 1 to 2 months. So, AAA is going to have to send us another player. And I'm impressed so far with the start to the year Drew Summers is having. He was a waiver claim a year ago, who now gets his opportunity to jump up a level. We currently have 4 pitchers now on the injured list, 3 minor league players. Wrapping it up in San Francisco, we do take the loss. Mick Abel ends up with the loss, giving up 8 in 2 innings. His first rough outing of the year that completely reshapes his ERA. Luke Keeschel now has 7 errors. It's actually like getting out of control over there. Phillies dominate the Twins in an 8-1 beatdown, and we make it to our next day of scouting. What are they doing? That's 2 straight weeks they haven't discovered anybody. Meanwhile, we're scouting Kenny Clem. We're not going to really have a good idea until we can finish the report. The possibilities are pretty good with him, so we might just have to stop the discovery now. That's 3 weeks of it, and it hasn't gotten us very far. All right, so we're going to focus a lot less on discovery now. I have a lot of scouting budget on the table, but finding like good efficiency and good position players, I think this is maybe the best combination we can put together. So I think I'm going to stop doing the like scout position unless I'm doing pitchers and just cycle through players and try to get prospect profiles done this way. So Veronica Logan is the better scout, and she's going to scout the better ranked players then in that case. We're going to get more third base information, and any third baseman that has position flexibility, that's going to be a boost in my book. A lot of third basemen can't play many other spots, have some sort of limitation in their game. We're going to scout the top first baseman now in Jay Michaels. So hopefully we can find some interesting players this way. It's just really disappointing that discovery has been such a bust. As the players we're scouting, we're going to see a lot more competition for them. I also might have to just be okay not having as many 100% profiles unless a player is going to be taken with one of our first 2 picks. Simeon Woods Richardson took the mound again. The Twins lose 11-10 in our highest scoring game perhaps of the year. Lots of extra base hits, and Simeon Woods Richardson gave up 5 more. Did I say we lost? We won. Taj Bradley going 7. Yes, let's jump in with one of the reasons to watch the team here in Season 2. Our ace pitcher, Taj Bradley, continues to put together incredible outings, and this is a 1-0 game. Cam Smith leading off the inning. Bradley's pitch count's in a good spot. Grounded softly, Keeschel with another potential error at second base. They gave Smith a hit on that. Loperfido grounds it now. Keeschel gets Smith this time. quickly ahead of 9 hitting Jake Myers. And the 12-6 hit out to Rodriguez. He's got that one. I always think it's a good sign when a guy can routinely get to one of those balls where there's that red icon suggesting it might be a dive. It means you got a good jump, you can cover some ground, and it turned into a routine play. Brooks Lee.
He's in there. He's safe.
I'm not sure he had a better play to first base in that spot. And look who's back at Target Field. Absolutely crushing it this year. Carlos Correa. I will say, I think that the Correa era in Minnesota is a net positive, mainly because of ending the playoff losing streak. That is in the air to left. And Jenkins has it. Matt Wallner is suddenly 1 for 12 in this series with the Astros, and he's only hitting .265. All right, he's definitely cooled off, and I don't think it's just this series that he's been unable to produce. So what do we got here over his last 10? Hitting .143. 5 for his last 35. With 1 homer. Come on now, don't tell me the fun's already over. Strike 3. Eric Wagaman at the plate. .231. He's gotten a few hits. Popped up. I didn't feel just late, but I suppose it was. So Erod hasn't exactly cooled off much. I think he has the best average on the whole team right now. Let's see if we can overturn this one. Yep. I don't like that one either. Oh, that was a lot more in the zone than I thought. 3-2 on Emmanuel Rodriguez. Wow, that was a nasty sinker inside. So, okay, we go to the 9th inning. Taj Bradley remaining in the game. Trying to go the distance against the Astros. Great fastball. Altuve to the gap in left center. And Buxton has it. Grounded. Keishel. He makes the play, and we're 1 out away. Christian Walker. Bradley, 91st pitch into left, and that puts the tying run on base. Starting him away, and that's fouled off. Bouncing, recovering, rushing, he may have him, and the Twins win it! Game over, complete game shutout, a 1-0 win for Taj Bradley. Continuing to show that he is the ace of this team, and he only had 3 strikeouts. That rate's got to have fallen this season, but he's still getting it done. Now the Twins got to go out and see what the Dodgers are all about in Season 2. We face Shohei Ohtani. Whenever Ohtani pops up in a matchup, I always feel the need to play part of that game. So we're going to play with Matt Wallner and see if we can get him going a little bit. I wasn't trying to overreact to the first 20 games of the year. I thought it was just legitimately impressive. I felt like he was actually breaking out. And the numbers are still good, but the rate at which they've fallen is concerning. 100 by Wallner. Ohtani ahead 1-2. He misses. That time we were on the fastball. Nasty. Sweeper, strike 3. Max Muncy hits a solo homer, and the Dodgers lead it 2-0. First pitch swinging. Kind of sitting on that fastball. Wallner does have the quirk, making him a really good breaking ball hitter, but I just think Ohtani's sweeper might be a little too nasty.
Nope, that's inside.
Great sinker. 2-2, and that fastball just confused me, I guess. Well, Ohtani's out, so at least now we get the bullpen. Ben Kasparius is on the mound. Wallner no longer first on the team in RBIs. And if he's at 19, then he's definitely having an RBI drought right now. Yep, that's foul, but close. Now he hits it a mile in the air. Wallner is 0 for 3. Pablo's had a pretty respectable outing. He gives us 6, only gives up 2. But we just don't have any offense against Shohei Ohtani. We do get the solo shot from Edmundo Sosa. And Wallner will hit again in the 9th against Edwin Diaz. Now the average is in the 250s. I don't like your challenge here, Will Smith. I think that's going to be a ball. I think I was late there on the slider. 1-2. Bring it full. 3-2. And a high drive belted to right. He's got a chance. Deep on the track, and this game is tied. Matt Wallner home run. I knew he had to run into one that stayed fair eventually. It's his 8th of the season. So again, we're late in the game. We're taking on the Dodgers here, first game of the series. And trying to force it to a 10th inning. Andy Pages also faced Freddie Freeman in this inning. Trying to give you guys a lot of different variety in teams we're seeing here in the episodes. And we got Gratterall's return to Dodger Stadium now. 0-2, and he starts strong, striking out Pages. Mookie Betts, he's only hitting 409. Got him to foul off a couple. Let's see if Gratterall can pick up some strikeouts here. 0-2. Okay, you got to throw it a little bit better than that. That's more like it. Shallow left for Jenkins, and 2 gone. Freddie Freeman hitting 306.
Ball 3.
Yeah, we're probably going to walk him. Ooh. Challenge from Freeman. I think this will be overturned. It's Will Smith. What, is everybody hitting over 300 for these guys? I'm just happy to not be doing a series in the National League this year. It was time to go back to the American League, where for 99% of the time we don't have to think about the Dodgers. On to the 10th we go. Hey, that OPS is coming up for Luke Keeschel. We have some speed on second base. Edwin Diaz staying in. And that hit him. Keeschel will take first, and now the former Dodger and Dalton rushing, and now the average has skyrocketed up to 275. Early in the season, hot streaks and cold streaks can make your numbers look entirely different. Let's see his last 10. 419 with a bunch of multi-hit games. Yep, that'll fix it. Man, that is a 3-pitch strikeout. He went right after him. Sosa, 5 homers, hitting 261. Base hit left field. Jenkins will be held at third. Bases juiced for Byron Buxton. No change for the Dodgers. 12 RBIs on the season for Buck. Ooh, that was a good one. Fouled back. 3-2 on Buxton. This is turning into a very long outing for Diaz. Outside, and that's a run. So again, we manufacture that run from second base. That's 2 in a row. Emmett Sheehan's going to enter as we really try to break this open now. Diaz pops up the changeup. That was a really good pitch to hit. Big miss chance. But now you get the reason this game is even continuing still, and Matt Wallner. He took the Dodgers deep in the ninth. And sends it to center in the 10th. That's caught. All right, is one run going to be enough? And who comes in for the save attempt? Cole Sands is not here. We got to go Bonda. There's 2 lefties up this inning. I know Hernandez is a better matchup for a righty. We'll give Gratterall one more at-bat then. He looked pretty good in the ninth. Just hope this isn't one batter too many. Forgot how much of a Dodger reunion this would turn into. Quickly, 2 strikes. Trying to put Hernandez away, and that's a good swing. Bonda's going to have his work cut out for him now. But he's been really tough on lefties. And we really want to keep this run from scoring. Kim's hitting 268 with the infield in. Hit right to Sosa on one pitch. Can you nail it down for us now against Muncy?
That's out.
Ooh. You know what? I have 2 left. I don't think it's a strike, but I think it's a good enough time to challenge. All right, it'll stay a ball. As sure as I'm going to be, it's never going to be 100%, so you have to factor that in. Fastball blown by him. 1-2. And Muncy strikes out. Anthony Bonda gets the save at Dodger Stadium, and the Twins win, taking it from the Dodgers in the end. Edwin Diaz blows the save. We manufacture the run in the 10th. I'm pretty happy with that win. Bailey Ober gets the mound in Game 2, and I feel I haven't played with Ober very much in this series. So this is his contract season, and he's pitching like a big contract is on the line. He's getting strikeouts at a really high rate. The ERA is in a great spot. This would be an improvement off of his previous seasons, should he maintain this pace. So let's jump in. We have a decision to make. Are we trading Ober this year? Are we extending him? I think when you look at just the way this season is starting off, doesn't feel like a team that's a year or 2 away. So you probably lean towards the trade. 2-run homer for Yandy Diaz in the first. Could the Twins take a series in Los Angeles? 2 strikes on Muncy, who struck out to end Game 1. And now bounces it up the first base line. Shohei Ohtani, 10 long balls already, hitting .320. That's bounced to the right side. Keishel, quick flip, and that's 2 down. Busted the bat of Kyle Tucker. It'll bounce. That is another broken bat hit we gave up. Good fastball. He's gotten just a piece of the zone a few times here in the first, and that's a strikeout. Really good inning for Bailey Ober. So I think the value you're weighing this year is what will a team give us for Ober? And he's on the trade block, so I'll field offers. I want to know. And I'd like someone else to make an offer before I try to do something. But it's that versus, like, I don't know, a 3-year, $45, $50 million deal. Like, it's nice to have a veteran in the rotation. Like, I'm not trying to rebuild it all at once. And a lot of our higher upside pitchers are still a couple, 3 years away from, I think, being ready. So you need guys to play in the meantime, and you want to give yourself a chance if certain areas of the team get better. Like if this outfield all of a sudden in a year or 2 is really strong with like Jenkins, Rodriguez, Buxton, all plus starters, Walner at DH. Like, that's a core four that can carry an offense. You don't want to be there with just a patched together pitching staff, and now you're a Bailey Ober away from being a wild card team versus one of the first teams out. Strike 3. 2 wrapped up for Ober. And Ober's skill set kind of fits what I'd be looking for from a veteran free agent. He's been a steady guy. You know what you're going to get. He's not going to be the top of the rotation arm, but the reliability is what you target him for. So we could trade Ober and then try to find someone who fits the exact same archetype he already fits, or just extend him. So it's just not an easy decision to make, especially because I make them all hard. Strike 3 looking on Hernandez. Man, he is dealing. You factor in, too, Ober is 31 years old. Shouldn't be a huge concern, but you know he's maxed out. Although this season is showing greater heights than we've seen. Tough slider. It rolls past Ober. Keishel. No, that's an infield hit. And that's the only way the Dodgers have gotten on base so far. Jam shot third base. 2 gone. Kim takes off. The throw from Rushing. Not in time. Went down for it. I mean, 3 innings in. The Dodgers haven't even gotten a ball out of the infield off Ober. When I start these episodes, I'm always thinking of, like, what's the storyline? Like, what are we focusing on today? I thought this might be more of an Erod-centric, like, title, thumbnail, everything. It might become Bailey Ober. Because I think actually the discussion around him in this series becomes a more interesting one. As a 79 overall, if he's steady with those ratings, would you rather have that in a 79 overall package or an 83 that costs $4 or $5 million more a year? 0-2 on Andy Pages, man. He's just throwing strikes. Ober now takes it off the back. He is a 6'9 pitcher, so he has a better chance of getting hit by those comebackers than most. So another infield hit. The Dodgers have a trio of those.
That's a ball.
And Mookie Betts. Good fastball. That's where you got to keep it. Not even a strike. 1-2, and chopped up the middle to the bag. Get that one, and Betts is doubled up. Still, nothing's been hit to the outfield that I can remember. Okay, apparently there were a couple fly balls to Buxton. But 4 innings in, that might be the best you could pitch against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Ground ball softly. That's another one. Beautiful. I'm not sure that's one you can get angry at. It's a strike. 3-2, and it gets by Diaz. It's down the line, and that's going to be the first extra base hit of the night for LA. And he's doing all this with a fastball that spends most of its time under the modern day speed limit. Feels like Ober is a pitcher from a bygone era.
That's outside.
2-2 on Hernandez. See if we can sneak one inside. That inside edge has just been money today.
Off the plate, ball 1.
I want to challenge that one, actually. Dalton Rushing, tapping his helmet. Okay, that was a ball. Kim. Another rocket that is snared by Luke Keishel. And that's 5 zeros put up by Bailey Ober. He's 3 for 13 versus Ober with 3 home runs. That is not very reassuring. Good pitch. 1-2 from Ober. We're breaking out the sweeper. 3-2, and he got it. That is going to be a fastball to first base. Bounced up the middle. Ohtani grounds out for the third time.
Ball.
I think that one is actually a strike. We'll see if we keep our last challenge. Indeed. Right to Keishel. How about 6 scoreless for Ober? And then we tack on another run in the 7th. And his day's going to continue. He's at 70 pitches. Pretty sure he's got high stamina. He can go up there with this pitch count. That's a fair ball from Pages. It looked foul. A leadoff double for the Dodgers, and it's suddenly their best chance to add a run all day. Ooh, that's a lucky break. Bounced. Pages going. And Betts is out. Freddie Freeman, this is through. And the Dodgers do get on the board. They're getting aggressive here on the first pitch. And now a ball is ripped by Will Smith. Freeman's going to have to hold at 3. And this is where you might look to make a change. And out of the game, Bailey Ober will exit. Here comes Louis Varland. Man, I want to continue right from this exact moment, but I have to return to simulating. And now what do I get? No, don't. They just finished the game. That is so disappointing to do player lock pitcher games like that. I wanted to play out that sequence. So they're going to charge Ober with 3. Varland takes the L. Altavilla gave up 2 more. Thought we had a really good chance to win this game. I still think it's a really good showing for Ober, and the way he's pitching this year, makes you think twice about what the future actually holds for him. All right, getting back to the scouting board now, and we're going to be seeing some good data come in on 3 players a week. We finish off the report on Kenny Clem. He is a third baseman with 72 to 87 potential. He's not going to give you the power you expect of a third baseman. He's more of a contact bat. His arm is decent. He doesn't play anything but third. That really hurts his draft stock for me. Then we have Ernesto Castro at third base. Again, pretty soft with the power. And no secondary position. I think we will stop it after 1 session there. Jay Michaels at first base can also play in right. Not much pop. Yeah, this just feels like an underwhelming position player class. Maybe we're looking in the wrong area. We're going to scout Omar Mercado. He's the top 10 prospect at catcher. Not a defense first guy. He's an offense first catcher. But I want information on him. And we're going to scout Parker Montgomery at third base because he at least projects to have some pop. Twins wrap it up in Los Angeles, and they do end up taking the series after all. 3 home runs. Simeon Woods Richardson has one of his best outings of the year. And the Twins are suddenly 15-19. Now in 4th place. 13-2 against the Astros. Another win for Bradley. We hit 3 homers and gave him some actual run support this time around. And Pablo Lopez is working on a no-hitter. So we'll jump into this. If we take this game, it's another series win. We creep closer to 500. And so Pablo Lopez is in that same situation as Ober, where, you do have to consider if it's worth, an extra 3-year extension to keep him around. Lopez is a higher rated player. The contract would be more. And he's not having as good of a year as Bailey Ober. 8 outs away. This is Carlos Correa. Fouled off. Good pitch inside, ahead of him. Late in the game, you got to find a way to miss some bats, or those extra base hits start to sneak up on you. Well, Buxton had 6 RBIs in our last win against the Astros. That'll make the numbers look nicer.
That's a ball.
Good pitch. Jam shot center field, and Buxton's got it. On the ground, that's Keishel. 7 innings into it for Pablo Lopez. Paredes breaks up the no-hitter in the 8th. 112 off the bat. But Lopez continues on. Take charge here. This is your great start. Take care of that one. Steal a strike on the sweeper. Let's go. 96. Just blowing it by him. Good piece of hitting there. At least to make contact. But it's a double play. So Taj Bradley had the complete game shutout. They take him out. Don't mess this up for me, man. I want to enjoy the rest of this game. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up in a 3-0 game. That's a sharp one to third, and that is Wagaman. Third base is his primary spot. I know he played a lot of first a year ago. Oh, that is off of rushing. In a lot of pain. But he's a catcher. Got to stay tough and continue on. 1-2, fastball, strike 3. And now Jonas Blackwell. That's another prospect taken high in last year's draft. And he pops it back. Fly ball. Not much room in foul territory. And the catch is made. Twins win. Take another series. And the bullpen gets the rest day. Again, you got to feel pretty good about the starting pitching we're getting in this series, all things considered. It's a one-hit shutout for Pablo. Nice 4-2 road trip. Now we get 9 straight at home. Eric Orzi out 1 to 2 weeks. Yeah, a lot of injuries taking place this season. 3 errors, guys. Twins win. It is Rodriguez, Jenkins, and rushing. The growing pains of the young roster. Bailey Ober, another really good outing with 9 strikeouts this time around. Drew Summers has been getting saves, by the way. I didn't really adjust who our closer was. It's kind of thrown him in there, and it looks like he's 3-0 in his attempts. I don't think we should leave it that way. I think we're going to put Banda in that role. We're not really committed to a closer, though. We're just kind of doing whatever. Simeon Woods Richardson takes the mound. It is another tough loss, but this was not on him. All right, so on catcher, Omar Mercado did not fall down the board. The contact looks promising. The power now is more average. That fielding is definitely a concern. Eric Flyer can play second and short. Not sure his arm makes him an ideal shortstop. Yeah, I'm just not finding a lot of players where it's like, man, I can't wait to draft that guy. Parker Montgomery, 67 and 93 potential. He can play third, first, and second. So he's got that going for him. That's a profile I'll actually want to complete. I kind of want to finish off all of these ones this week. Edmundo Sosa, injury. 2 to 3 months out with a fractured foot. That's going to land him on the 60-day injured list. Twins lose 2 ugly games back-to-back. Yeah, the injuries seem to be hitting us harder this season than in year 1. So the top shortstop prospect is Kalen Culpepper, and he continues to struggle at the plate at Double-A. The ratings are falling. He's not even hitting 200. We are significantly delaying things with him. I feel like we might as well give Brooks Lee some of these at-bats, continue to evaluate him this year. We'll bring up Kreidler. He'll sit on the bench. And then we'll have Tanner Schobel actually take over shortstop there. I've been kind of hoping he develops into a bench player for us. I think he's got a good skill set for it. I know I haven't gotten much into the prospects this season, but there isn't a lot of good stuff to talk about. At the very least, our top prospect, Josue DePaula, is having a good start to the year down at AA. I just want to see him stay down there and continue to develop the offense. We're going to play this pretty patiently with him. We're winning a lot of our starts when Taj Bradley takes the mound. Now Pablo following it up with another really good outing. The Twins are now just 2 games under 500. And if they can nail down this one, they'll be 1 game back. So it feels like not long ago we had like a 33% win percentage. Dylan Dingler leads off. Bonda's getting the save attempt now. We're just trying to piece it together as we go, and Bonda's our best option right now. Pretty good option, I think. Starting off 2-0 to the leadoff man. Pablo had 8 innings of no-hit ball against the Tigers, so he almost had another no-hitter, like 2 close calls. 4-pitch walk starts the inning. Last thing you want to see. There's a strike. High in the zone, but he gets there, and it's 2-0. Or 0-2. Strike 3! Kevin McGonigal hitting .295. And on the hands, and a good pitch to get ahead. 1-2 slider, just off. 3-2, and he just patiently takes his walk to first base. Here's Jazz Chisholm. In front of it, here's an 0-2 count. Bear down, slider away. And he takes. Now more of a front foot location in that. He goes around on strike 3. And another tough lefty in Riley Green. Right now, the fastball is like the only pitch I trust to go get strike 1. So I'm just trying to sneak that by him, hope they don't go after it. 20th pitch, and here's an 0-2 count. Do I get one more bear down? We do. Bonda. Got him! On the changeup, and the Twins hold on. Big series win against the Detroit Tigers. A lot of guys going down on the injured list, and the Twins remain resilient. And the trio atop this rotation, man, they are playing incredible right now. While we're at it, I've seen some names pop up on the waiver wire. I saw that Alek Manoah was just waived. I don't know if I missed it. German Marquez. Yeah, I know he had Tommy John and doesn't appear to have that same stuff any longer. We'll pass on any waiver claims for the time being, but man, we are so close to a 500 record. I guess we're focusing a lot on the arms today, and the Twins trying to nail down another late game situation. We've been a little more sound situationally so far in this episode. We might be better off going to Cody Funderburk than stretching out his outing. So let's bring in Cody, who has had a successful season. Gorman and Weatherholt lead off for the Cards. Great piece of hitting. That one just kind of surprises you, as Gorman's going to have a leadoff double. Weatherholt past Lewis. Gorman broke late, and Rodriguez won't have him at third. But this is trouble. Archie Naylor. Yeah, I think that is another prospect here drafted a year ago. Yeah, that's the #1 prospect in baseball. Generational catcher Archie Naylor's at the plate. We should be terrified right now. What are the rookie's numbers? So he does have 29 games under his belt. Average and on base are low. He's one of those guys I did not find in the draft, and now my draft approach has been to focus on the infield, and that hasn't been very productive for us. So I'm going to have to take more of a look and see, all right, if outfield's the best fit, Who is it? If a pitcher's the best fit, where's that guy? Naylor bounces it to short. We're going to have to just play for the double play here as the game is now tied. Diaz, he knocked it down and makes the play. All right, Byron Buxton's now hitting .241. And in a tie game at home with a .500 record on the line. Man, that's the one I want to turn on. Trying to be a little more patient when I'm seeing a pitcher for the first time. Man, he gave me a repeat, a complete do-over. I wasn't ready. There's a better one. That was a 12-6 curve and a great swing for Diaz. We'll bring Creedler off the bench to run for him. And Matt Wallner with the average now sitting at .253. Back up the middle. What a hit. Oh, this is so aggressive here. That was a bad idea. Just wanted to challenge his arm there, I guess. It's a shame, too. That was a really good swing by Wallner. Base hit now into right field. Yeah, I think on that previous play, I've just seen so many guys not make a good throw from the outfield. I wanted to just take a chance. 2 on now for Emmanuel Rodriguez. Erod, foul. Still one of the better averages on the team, hitting in the 280s. 3 homers on the season. And he's on top of this one. Leaping over it is Royce, but that's the inning. And now it's going to be walk-off or bust for Minnesota. Going with Dan Altavilla in this spot. It's Nathan Church who threw out Creedler. And now he's going to test Roden, who's in right field, and that's a catch. Mason Wynn. 1-2. He waved at it. Altavilla picks up a strikeout. They have not been common for him this season. And Victor Scott. Played with him a lot back in the Cardinals franchise. I'm challenging that. I don't think I ever got the inside the park homer with him I was looking for. Wow, that is so close. Oh, man, he committed to that bunt regardless of what the pitch was. 1-2, and he bounces this one. Lee knocks it down. But he might wind up on second base here anyway. Oh, it's Trevor Larnach. And the throw into second. Not close. So Larnach now winds up with the St. Louis Cardinals. Traded them away last year to the Dodgers in the Joe Ryan deal. And he bounces it to Lee. Twins will try to walk it off. And if they can, they'll have brought their season back to a .500 record. Leading off is Alan Roden. He does have a .250 average since the call-up. And first pitch is in the air. Shallow center. 1 away. Look at Brooks with a 2-for-3 day. And the offense trending in the right direction. He's got an opportunity with Sosa. Man, I want to be patient, but these sweepers are so good and I'm still screwing them up. I'm always caught between like, all right, I don't want to be over aggressive, but if the pitch is good, I end up in this conflicted state. It's hit to left. Not a great swing. And Luke Keeschel, these numbers are looking fine, man. 8 homers? This episode's been kind to a lot of players. To the gap in right center, and that's extras. Keeschel can fly. He'll have 2. Can we win this? It's up to 9 hitting. Victor Caratini. And we're quickly down 2 strikes. Great pitch. Strike 3. All right, we're going with Jordan Hicks. What a season he's putting together. That strikeout rate is high. These are elite numbers. These are $11 million reliever numbers he's putting up this season. And now Burleson leads off the 10th. We play so many more innings than other teams. I feel like we play an above average amount of these extra inning games. And now, can he add on to that strikeout total? Got to give him a sweeper here. Great pitch. Staying put at second. 1 down. I got Will Benson now out there for more speed. Nolan Gorman. Oh, I thought we were going to jam him. That's a base hit to left. Rodriguez home. That's a run. Cardinals tack on their ghost runner. And now that has a chance to bloop. Keishel off his glove. Cannot make the play. A chance now for Archie Naylor. Our first look at the top prospect in the franchise. Got him. 100 miles per hour. And Lewis will record the final out. Twins down 1 as we head bottom of the 10th. Matt Swanson. He's 8 for 8. Putting that to the test against Byron Buxton. Can't do anything about Caratini's speed or lack of there at second base. And Buxton just missed. Yeah, that was too late. The chance goes to Dalton Rushing with 1 down. Filthy sweeper. That should be a strike. We do have a challenge remaining if there's something close. 1-2. Struck him out. Timing on that felt okay. It's up to Wallner. I can't believe he and Keishel have the same amount of homers. Oh, that swing was too late. We got 1 more chance, guys. 2 strikes. I just cannot lay off a sinker. It's one of the toughest pitches for me for some reason. Cardinals take this one. Just when 500 was within reach. Walker Jenkins, minor injury to his biceps, so we shouldn't have to put him on the injured list or anything. Kalen Culpepper has a minor injury. So yeah, it feels like we've got to be doing better this episode. That team batting average is way up, but now no one's hitting close to 300. Rodriguez still best on the team. For runs scored, we're going to be 19th. And that team ERA has got to be good with where these starting pitchers are. It's 9th. So you're in this spot where Bradley, Lopez, and Ober are pitching outstanding. Sim and Abel, they're struggling. Abel's been in much worse form lately. That's 27 runs given up in his last 31 2/3 innings. And he's not getting much depth out of these starts. I think Abel needs a trip down to AAA. I was going to call up Zebby Matthews, but now his numbers have fallen. And he's actually down an overall point. Man, that hit per 9 versus lefties is down 3. That is like a huge red flag. He's given up 27 runs in his last 40 2/3 innings. So if you want someone playing well, you got Kendry Rojas and River Ryan. I think Ryan needs like this time to develop, and right now things are going pretty well. I think we give Kendry Rojas his debut because he's pitching at a really high level. 3 straight outings of going 7 He's only given up 1 run in those 3 outings. All right. Kendry Rojas is about to get his call up. We haven't really done much with the pitchers in terms of like debuts yet in this series, but this one is about to happen. We're actually going to set up a bullpen game to get kind of the rotation back in order. We're going to have David Festa be the opener in that case. Tie game late. Twins find a way to take it 3-2. Nicely done. Bullpen game went really well. Time to scout again. So we finished the profile on Mercado. That potential range is now at 78 to 93, and he became our number 4 player. So the fielding is going to start below average. You hope he can grow into being a more well-rounded player, but another offensive catcher is an option. Parker Montgomery, 85%. The power looks legit, especially against lefties. And then you've got Eric Flyer, 78 to 90 potential with him. And this one's finished. And the offense doesn't really excite you. Not much does. Like 58th ranked player, and I'm just like, yeah. The potential range is all I'm looking at now is like, okay, maybe there's something there that could happen. But 46 to 58 overall, that guy's going to be a prospect for 4 or 5 years. So we're going to focus a little more on these fringe top 10 outfielders then. I do want to get Dwayne Duncan scouted. Could be some big time power in his skill set. Marshall Thurston also looks really good. We're going to end up scouting both at some point. I'm also going to scout Bruno Barreto, one of the third basemen I still think is intriguing. Why don't we scout Harold Emery? That potential range is staring at me. 85 to 99. That's another injury at AAA, guys. Twins defeat the Cardinals. They are officially 500. Wow. That is 6 straight series that we've won, including a road series in Los Angeles and 3 consecutive at home. So this will be put to the test as we head out on the road, immediately drop that first game, and then drop the next game. Our streak ends getting swept by the A's. And trying to make things right, we have the debut of Kendry Rojas. We're in San Diego. Suddenly 3 games under 500 again, 23 and 26. Padres have a half-game worse record than that. But I think this episode overall, I feel pretty positive about it. I think the offense has been much better. The pitching has given you a lot to like, and we've recovered from a bad start to at least be in the mix right now, 50-ish games in. And Kendry Rojas gets to make his debut. So the case for Rojas is to become a good lefty strikeout pitcher. So he's got like 60 and 61 on his strikeout ratings, which I've seen, like, those marks are not going to give you usually very high strikeout numbers. You're looking for more. It's a starting point. First batter is Marcell Ozuna. Got him! He strikes out the very first batter he faces. First punch out for Rojas. Fernando Tatis Jr. So let's dive into his ratings here a little bit then. Rojas is going to rely a lot on that mid-90s fastball and the slider off of it. The K rate's now 61 and 61. He's a 68 overall with C potential. There's that slider that ends up a little in. Even on Tatis. And the fastball is put in the air, right field. A lot of carry, but there's room. Xander Bogaerts, and he wants the first pitch. Grounded to first, and that is a 1-2-3 frame in Kendry Rojas' pitching debut. A Paul DeJong sighting here in Season 2. Oh, no. No. In his debut, Rojas is hurt. The way his arm is hanging, this looks bad. The pitching injuries are getting out of control this season. No, man. And just like that, his debut is over. Belted to center. Buxton's back. So now you got to think he's going to wind up on the injured list. So we'll begin to speed things along again. Twins trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Runs given up by Festa in the 4th. Twins answer back with 1 in the 5th. Ozuna puts them up 3, and then it's all falling apart. 3-run homer, Luke Keeschel. Wait a minute, not done yet. 2-run game, we head to the 7th. Yandy Diaz, 1 for 3. And now 2 for 4. So here's Wallner. And we've kind of found some stability in this 250 range with his numbers. He's not adding on many more home runs. But he's still getting hits. Good try. David Morgan is the pitcher. Almost got me on that one. 3-2. Trying to create some havoc on the base paths, and that would have been ball 4. The other way, hit well, turning, foul.
No, that's foul.
Ball 4. We'll see. Very close. And just barely upheld. 2 on, nobody out to bring up Royce Lewis, who just got up to the 200 mark. We got a good count now. Got to answer with some runs here in the 7th. And this count is full. Payoff to Royce. Ball 4 to load him up with nobody down. Emmanuel Rodriguez. A 276 average. And now trying to add on to his RBI total. Strike. I'm going to challenge. It's close. It'll stand. They're not coming to save Morgan here. Grounded. Rodriguez got the perfect pitch to drive, and it results in a double play. Man, that hurts. Now they'll take out Morgan. Jeremiah Estrada will enter. It's Walker Jenkins, who has 7 homers now on the year. 19 runs batted in. 2 on, 2 down. Just outside. Working a lot of counts in the inning. Estrada's 3-1 to Jenkins. And I didn't have to do that. That might have been a strike anyway. Full count. Got him. I don't know why I'm not swinging at some of these. Just simulating some of the pitching, and Padres at the bases loaded have Paul DeJong. Louis Varland.
That's a ball.
Having some trouble.
Nope. Outside.
Nope. Just off. 3-1. Nowhere to put him. And now a full count. Bounced it. Lee there at short. Padres leave him loaded. Look at Keeschel, man. 287. We're going to have to talk more about him next episode, I think, because suddenly he's become one of the hotter players on the team. Every time we see him, the average is up a good 10, 20 points. Ranks tied on the team. First place with doubles. He's got a bunch of homers, too. A few stolen bases. They're not showing his home runs for some reason on the board. He has a home run in this game, though. It's the kind of thing that makes you more excited about Season 2. A lot of good things have taken place today. Strike 3. feel like I got to slow down a little bit and get some more at-bats in just to kind of better track the progress of some of these guys. Whoops. Haven't gotten into much of a groove today. I've been focused so much on pitching, and it's like, it's harder for me when every time I'm hitting, like every inning is a different pitcher we're facing. It's hard to get locked in that way.
Back outside.
Brooks Lee, fly ball. Easy play. Oh no. This could be game. Mason Miller is in. How good are the numbers this season? The most dangerous reliever in the game. 33 strikeouts, 13.5 strikeout per 9. And we need to get 2 runs. 14 for 15 on save attempts. Mason Miller versus Byron Buxton. Man, I'm challenging that one. I just think that was off. It wasn't. 102. And 101, strike 3. Yandy Diaz with a 2-2 count. Got a chance. We got to get somebody on. And there's our base runner, as we will give Matt Wallner a chance to tie it. If we can connect on one of these triple-digit fastballs. Nope. Got jammed, and it's flied to left. Minnesota down to their final out, staring at a 4-game losing streak. Just when we were making things interesting again. 2-0. At least we're getting into a count now. That's in our favor. Got to sit fastball and just be ready. And of course, he throws a changeup for like the first time the whole inning on the corner. Mason Miller's incredible. 3-1. And now we take 3-2. Ball 4. Just off the corner. And we could look to run there at second base. I think we will with Rodin. And here's Emmanuel Rodriguez. 2 aboard. 101, and we were on it. Couldn't come through with the bases loaded. And now 0-2. Got him! Mason Miller saves another one, is now 15 for 16 on the season, and the Twins fall. But today we got the season to a point now where it's a little more interesting to see what this team can do next. Oh, Rojas just has a bruised arm. He's going to be all right. Perfect. He might even make his next scheduled start. So, man, so many injury things popping up here. Twins 23 and 27. You got Bradley playing well, Lopez, Ober. Hopefully we can add some stability with Rojas. We'll see what he turns into for us. This was a fun one. I think that year 2 now is a little less throwaway than it was at the start of this episode. And we're doing it with so many young players that are just playing outstanding. Luke Keeschel, one of the best examples now, as he's suddenly hitting 285 with a 853 OPS. This is a vastly different experience than what we saw from him a year ago. We'll continue to see how this year unfolds, but at least 50 games into the season, you'll take where this team currently sits. Let me know what you think as we approach June. How should I approach scouting the rest of the way? I feel like this has been a really disappointing start. It hasn't really worked out with our needs, and now we just have to go wherever the talent is. But yeah, year 2 is definitely fun right now, and I can't wait to continue. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will be catching you all next time as we continue Season 2. Have a great day.